Check. Okay, good evening, everyone. And welcome to our November edition of AstroCafe by the Astronomical Society of Penang. My name is Michael Teo. I'm the committee member of the Astronomical Society of Penang. Okay, for those who have not joined us before, okay, every month during the second Saturday of the month, we have this online session of AstroCafe and virtual stargazing. Okay, since the lockdown began, this happened this fall on the second Saturday night, okay, 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. So usually during this AstroCafe, we just have a chit chat session, or just like what we would do when during the actual stargazing session. Okay, but since due to this COVID lockdown, we are unable to do a physical stargazing, so we come up with this idea of going online, okay, to have a sharing session. And then recently, we try to have more thematic activities program for the AstroCafe session. So for tonight, okay, we are going to have a theme, or how to say, the program surrounding APOD, okay, APOD, which stands for Astronomical Society of Penang. Okay, mistake. Okay, Astronomy Picture of the Day. Okay, so this Astronomy Picture of the Day, actually we have another session at the fourth Saturday of the month. Okay, same time, 8:30. Okay, so for those who have not known yet, so astronomic let me share my screen now. Where is it? Let me tell you what is Astronomy Picture. Okay. Okay, so Astronomy Picture of the Day is basically a website. Okay, you can go to the website apod.nasa.gov, apod.astropics.html, or you just simply type Astronomy Picture of the Day, or even APOD in the search bar. It will bring you to this website. Okay, so what this website is about? Okay, this website actually is provided by NASA. Let me go back. Okay, it's a website provided by NASA. Sorry, I have to read the text somewhere else. Sorry, Okay, so Astronomy Picture of the Day is a website provided by NASA and Michigan Technological University. So every day there will be one photos or image. It's not necessarily a photos. It can be an image, can be a graphic. Okay, about our universe and space. Astronomy is related. So they will pick one photos to features for that day. Okay, so every day they will have the different photos. This photo, they are mainly selected from professional archive like Hubble's, ESA, VLA, etc., and also from submission by amateur. So if you take a very good photos, you can send to them, and if it's considered as a special or very nice photo, you may have a chance to get features. Okay, and along with the photos, there will be a brief explanation. Like you can see, like for this one is a photo by today. Show the conjunction of the Venus, Spica, and is this Venus? I'm not sure. Wait, let me check. Yeah, Venus, Mercury, and the Moon. Okay, Mercury is below down here. So at the bottom of the photos, there will be a very simple explanation write-up. Okay, this write-up is written by professional astronomers. Okay, basically for the whole APOD currently is maintained written by two professional astronomers. They are Robert J. Nemiroff, a professor at Michigan Technology University, and Jerry T. Bonnell, a scientist at NASA and Goddard Space Center. Okay, so basically this APOD website is actually not some kind of like top astrophysics competition or some award like we have the Oscar for the movie and all that, but being features, if you have a photos being featured on APOD is always considered a great achievement for an astrophotographer. Why? Okay, because it takes more than just a nice wowing photos, okay, to be featured. It has to be at least scientifically meaningful. It's have a story to tell that the authors, they can tell something from your photos. Okay, so it's not just wow photos. So basically from the explanation below, you can have learn one thing or two. Okay, actually sometimes if you don't understand some of the term, they even have a hyperlink to somewhere from from external articles where you can read more details about all the terms used in the write-up. Okay, so this is basically about APOD. Okay, so now back to our team today. So this APOD basically is launched in 1995, so it has been 25 years. So during this span of 25 years, there has been only 4 Malaysian astrophotographers who has ever been featured on the APOD. Okay, so today we are lucky and we are glad and we are happy to have invited all 4 Malaysian APODers, which I call them APODers. Okay, we don't really have a proper name for them. Okay, so we have all 4 Malaysian astrophotographers who have been featured on APOD to be with us today, okay, to share their experience, to share their journey in astronomy and astrophotography, and about the story behind their features photo, okay, on the particular days. Okay, next, let me introduce our guest today. So first, we have Mr. William Chin. Hi, say hi. Okay, Mr. William Chin is an amateur astronomer since 1993, okay, and an astrophotographer since 1997. Okay, he is best known for his photographs of a wide variety of astronomical objects. William is an astronomy popularizer who has written many astronomical articles for local Chinese newspaper. He is currently the Vice President of the Starfinder Astronomical Society, as well as the coach of the Astronomical Society of Hinhua High School. Okay, next on we have Miss Teo Hui Che. Hi, Hui Che. Okay, Hui Che is an amateur astronomer and astrophotographer. She has been actively promoting amateur astronomy throughout the countries for the past 20 years while pursuing her interest in astrophotography. She is currently a lecturer in University Tunku Abdul Rahman, Utah, and she is also the advisor for the Astronomy Club in Utah. Okay, number 3, the third guest is Mr. Robin Lee. Hi. Hey, Robin is from a small town Krang in Johor, an amateur astronomer with profound interest in astronomy and instrumentation. Okay, during his high school era, Robin founded Chonghua High School Krang Astronomy Club with fellow like-minded astronomy enthusiasts. He earned a degree in Chinese University of Hong Kong, and during the period, he joined Academia Sinica Institute of Astronomy and Astrophysics in Taiwan as a research intern. Later on, he joined National Astronomical Observatory of Japan, NAOJ, to work on superconducting radio astronomy detector. Since 2015, Robin turns his focus on popularizing astronomy and serving the amateur astronomy community as the founder and director of Cyclotropics Limited. Okay, and last but not least, we have Dr. Derek Lim. Hi, Derek. Okay, Derek is a Malaysian amateur astronomer and astrophotographer. Oh, sorry, I think there's something wrong with the live. Let me refresh it. Okay. So Derek is a Malaysian amateur astronomer and astrophotographer. Okay, in 1993, he picked up a pair of 7x35 binoculars to observe the star and has never stopped since. He was the first Malaysian and Asian in the world to observe all 110 Martian objects in a night in 2001. Okay, what a great achievement. And let me check. Okay, Derek is currently a lecturer in engineering at Chulalongkorn University in Thailand. Okay, that's it, the 4 guests today. Okay, so now we check. Okay, so let's start. So we will start with William first, since he is the first Malaysian who has ever features on APOD. Okay, so I'll pass the screen to William. Let me end my sharing.
Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, I think it's okay. I think you can hear me, right? Okay, let me share my slide. Share windows. Okay, first, thank you, Michael. Thank you, this Astronomical Society of Penang. So this is, as you can see in the slide there, this is the picture that that features on the APOD. on year 2010, January 26. Yeah, this is a picture. So it shows that a sequence of annular solar eclipse with the landscape of this famous what's that? What I should call is the pagoda or temple in this Bagan in Myanmar. So yeah, so if you can read the description, this you can see here there's a temple. This is a temple. The only buildings that has a light up. So this is a very famous temple in Bagan, Myanmar. This is, we call it Ananta Temple. Yeah, it's a very old temple and then very famous. If you go to Myanmar, Bagan, especially Bagan, if you didn't visit this temple, that means you are not been into this Bagan before. So you can feel that how famous this temple is, and then you don't want to miss it. Okay, yeah. So that's the thing. So this is a photo. So how regarding to how I take this photo, actually no matter because this is a sequence, so that means that I'm gonna observe the solar eclipse throughout the time from the beginning of the eclipse until the end of the eclipse. Then I have the landscape being captured. So actually you're gonna do this separately. If in the frame era, we actually can capture this in just one frame. Inside one frame, you can do that by just do nice framing. But in digital era, we cannot do multiple exposure like this. So what we can do is we capture every single phase of this eclipse from beginning to the end, and then you combine it with Photoshop maybe or other stacking software also can. So then you combine it with the landscape. So this is how this photo come up with, and then of course you not previously actually you can put any landscape on it, but then if you have the angle that's where the sun path is, and then also the angle is correct, then you can match with a nice landscape. So when we go to Bagan, they got too many temples and also the pagoda there. So we're gonna choose which one we're gonna do as a landscape. So then we browse a lot, not browse a lot. Right? I mean, we walk around the Bagan, and then we go to see this temple and that temple, and then hear some story about the temple, and then finally we came along with this spot, and then we saw that, well, this spot is really nice. The sun set just behind the Ananta temple. So then we decided that this is our spot for the solar eclipse. So then make these photos happen. Actually, this eclipse is very special. This is the annular solar eclipse, and then this is the longest annular eclipse that I observe the longest from the beginning to the end. I mean, let me see. From the beginning, this is the beginning, to the end, it's about 7 minutes and 46 seconds. But this is only where the place I observe. If you go to this central line of this annular, when the annular is greatest, you can witness about, I think, 12 to 11 minutes of the annular. But my location actually is offset from the center of the active path. So we got only 7 minutes. But see, even though it's 7 minutes, but that is already the longest annular that I can observe. Usually, annular eclipse, total solar eclipse also the same. Usually, it lasts for like 3 minutes to 4 minutes. Sometimes it's 2 minutes only. Like the recent one, the previous annular solar eclipse is just about, I think, less than 1 minute. So that's the thing. But it's nice to observe the longest annular solar eclipse. So you can see the ring is so big like that. So it needs some time for the moon. The black this is the moon to move from this side to another side. So this takes about 7 minutes. And then I gonna, as I said just now, I gonna set my camera stationary. Don't touch the camera when we take this shot. And then the camera is to record the path of the eclipse. So actually I use the frame camera to record this. So let me tell you, this is a photograph. So this is what taken in the frame, and then I scan it into digital. So this is the very original version of the solar eclipse sequence. So then as you can see, maybe it is not so clear. So what I do is I use the solar eclipse phases that taken from the telescope, and then replace each of them. So then you can still become the eclipse phase can become so clear because of that. So this is to make the things nicely fit like that. Okay, so this is it. So this is how these photos produced. So then this photo, besides features on APOD, it also features on Astronomy magazine. There's a Astronomy magazine called Astronomy. So the editor sent me email and then asked for permission to publish the photo. Yeah, so it also features in the Astronomy magazine. And then okay, actually I love to observe solar eclipse. So especially annular, I don't know why. So but total also nice. Total is the most exciting one. So then this is what I brought to this Bagan, Myanmar for observation. Actually, I have this is not my equipment, but since my setup has a space, so my friend just attached his equipment to my setup like that. The main observation of this solar eclipse is actually I would like to take the spectrum of this annular solar eclipse. So this what you can see here is the very big spectrograph behind here. So this telescope below is to take the close-up of the eclipse phases. So this is what I taken from this spectrograph. So the purpose is to see the chromosphere of the sun. So this is what I can observe from. The first time I observed the spectrum of the sun through the annular solar eclipse. Okay, so of course, this is the photo that taken during that walk around and then choose which temple or pagoda you would like to use as a foreground. So you can see everywhere is there's a statement told by this person there. They said that no matter how your fingers point to each direction of the bagan, you can point to one of the pagoda or temple. So you can imagine how many temple or pagoda over there in Bagan, Myanmar. Only the small area of Bagan. There got so many this kind of buildings over there. So yeah, very good spot. And then this Bagan actually famous for sunset and sunrise. So we can climb some of the temple. We can climb, so we can climb up there, and then we just witness the sunset or sunrise. This is a sunset, and someone actually take the hot air balloon and then to see the sunrise or sunset, something like that. So yeah. So we go so far away to Myanmar. So of course the night sky is the one of the attraction there. So then I also took some photograph over there. So this is one of the photograph. So yeah. So to show that this is Myanmar, maybe this tree you say that somewhere everywhere also you can take. So to show that this is Myanmar, so I just purposely find something that has a Myanmar looks on that and then take together with the sky to show that this is Myanmar, something like that. So there what inside the sky here is actually the Orion constellation, and then this is the brightest star in the sky. Yeah, this is the restaurant that every night we went for our dinner. I mean, there we already asked that why the restaurant called this name. Actually, this is called Crescent Moon. I don't know the boss of the restaurant has tell the truth or not, but then we just believe it. Laminte means Crescent Moon. This is what the boss of the restaurant told us. Above here, yes, actually is a Casopian. Yeah, and then yeah, but actually Malaysia is very hard to see this polaris. So Myanmar is actually located at roughly about 15 degrees north, something like that. Then so polar list is actually visible. So this is the polar list. If you want to know where is the polar list, actually you can look for Big Dipper. This is Big Dipper here, and then they got 2 stars of Big Dipper. If you extend this distance of these 2 stars 5 times, then you can find this polar list is over there. And then match with the foreground. Choose a foreground that represent Myanmar, Bagan Myanmar. Then will become a good photograph. So this is Cassiopeia, and then this is Polaris here, and then this is Ursa Minor. So take some what you call that, people life over there with the stars. So how the people there enjoy life, and then how is the connection between them and the stars. But the place is they got very strong street lamp just behind my where I take this photograph. So this is why the foreground is so bright. Okay, so this is what I'd like to share. If you guys have any questions, can ask. Thank you.
Okay, William, thanks for your sharing. So I have one question. So actually, I have this same question for every one of you. So back to your eclipse photos.
Okay.
So like I say, so the photos being chosen for APOD is not just an arbitrary nice photo. So personally, what do you think when you get the notification that your photo has been chosen? What do you feel that is something special about these photos?
When you talk about notification, actually I didn't receive a reply email from that to this what I call that editor of this APOD. It actually just appeared in the APOD, and then my friend just told me that, hey, you are featured on APOD. Then only I know that my photo is featured on the APOD. This is something like that. And if you talk about the reason why they choose my photo to features on that day of the astronomy picture, I think it's because of the praise. Because I think during this eclipse, most of the people will go to a place like China, because the eclipse path have crossed China, and also this they got one place really nice one now. Maldives, yes, So Maldives and China, the weather prospect also good, and I think Myanmar for other people maybe is relatively difficult to get inside. I don't know. But because Myanmar is within the Southeast Asia country, so we have relatively privilege to enter the Myanmar without many restrictions, something like that. And so that's why people are very excited that, wow, you can go to this Myanmar, Bagan, Myanmar to look at this annular solar eclipse. So I think that is what they're excited about this picture.
So you are the first ever Malaysian who has been featured on APOD. So how many sleepless nights when you know about that? First, you have to go into the Malaysian Book of Record.
I don't know. So far, since this picture features on APOD, until today, only Astronomical of Society of Penang invite me to talk about this photo.
Actually, it has been mentioned before during one of the APOD session by Dr. Chong, I think 2 months ago.
I think I also have attended that online session. I heard that. But nobody come to interview me that, hey, how come your photo, how you can get into this APOD or something like that. No. Until today.
Four person in 25 years must have to interview, and let people know how difficult it is. Like we said just now, not only we only have 4 in 25 years, then the fact that 4 of you have never featured for the second time. So that is how difficult it is to get chosen. Your photo have to be very, very special.
Actually, after this photo, I have sent not less than like maybe 50 picture, 50 picture to the editor, and then none of them being chosen to be features again. I think
so hopefully the next coming soon.
Hopefully because they usually choose the unique of this photos. The unique of this photo as, hey, that maybe most of the people never imagined that, hey, you found the Ananta temple, and then you found that, oh, there's a sunset behind the Ananta temple, and then you can match with the solar eclipse sequence. Nobody can imagine that. Even when we go to walk around the Bagan city, and then we just came across this spot, and then by just like maybe luck or something, we just want to like when we found this spot, actually we are heading back to the hotel for sleeping actually. And then luckily go across this place, and then I look at this angle. Then we actually stopped there to just like imagine, oh, if we can observe the eclipse over this spot, it would be really nice, something like that.
I think back then in 2010, right, we don't really have the smartphone apps and all that for the simulation.
Yes.
It's all based on experience.
Yes. We gonna recce. We call it recce the day before or the 2 days before. So actually we are going there like 3 days. We arrive Bagan 3 days before the animal, just to like walk
Make
around
sure
and see which one. Yes, to choose the right spot. Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, so let me see if there's any question from the audience. Okay, no questions. So
Very well.
Do you have any question for William? Just bombard him whatever question.
I'm just really impressed.
Since he said he's never been interviewed before, so we let him interview Gao Gao this time.
Yeah. How you said you went there like 3 days before, right? I think that's kind of like very representative of how much work it takes to get a good photo, and I think very highly commendable, because not easy at all to take a photo like this. So very nice.
Basically, to me, to enter Myanmar itself is already like so difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult. And then we're gonna take another plane to Bagan. We only can access to this capital city of Myanmar. We call it Yangon or what? I don't know what is the city called now. Maybe Yangon, right? Yangon. Yeah. So then from Yangon to Bagan actually very far away. If we take bus, maybe need about 1.5 days. And then they got no highway and no tar road like what we can find in Malaysia. Although Malaysia tar road is so bad also. But then okay.
Don't defend our countries.
Luckily that time we found a way that there is a travel agent that can arrange all these things, to us. So then we take a plane, domestic flight to Bagan. Yeah, all these things. Yeah.
Okay, so there's no question from the audience. So in that case, okay, we move on to our second speaker of the night. Okay, I'll pass the session to Miss Teo Hui Chie.
Okay, thanks, Michael. So
Hi, Hui Chie.
Let me share my screen.
William, you have to unshare. You have to end your presentation.
Right. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Can, no problem.
Okay, one moment. All right, so good evening, everyone. So I'm Richard here. So as you can see, this is me. Okay, many years back. So that I purposely put this picture so I look younger, lah. All right.
Still look young.
Because this picture was, I think, maybe 6 years back, because the APOD features of my picture was in 2014. So it's already 6 years. So I think I better put a younger picture so I will look fresher. Okay. All right. So just let me continue. So my APOD picture actually was taken in this national park. We call it the Bromo Tengger Semeru National Park. All right. So it's a very nice place. Okay, as we can see here in the morning. So and we know that Indonesia actually is quite famous for its volcano. So for this view here, actually we can see 2 active volcanoes. So at here you can see the one that is having some smoke coming out. So this is what we call Gunung Bromo or Mount Bromo. And then further down here, the one that have a cap here. So this one is Mount Semeru. So Mount Semeru is the highest peak in Java. All right. So these 2 are the active volcano. And then right in front here in the middle, we have another mountain here. But this is a dead volcano. This is a Gunung Batok. So we can see that we have a very nice view on this, and a lot of tourists actually come to this place for sunrise. Okay, and sometimes if we are lucky, I don't know, it's considered lucky or unlucky, we might get some fog. Okay, there will be a layer of fog actually covering the caldera floor, so it can be very misty and very romantic in a sense. Okay, but for us, when we have such a nice view, usually we will not just only think of the sun. Okay, we will not we will, how to say, we will try to see if we can capture the stars at this location or not. So this is why we went there. So people usually will go up to this place because for the sunrise maybe 3-4 a.m. But for us, we went up there at 11 or 12 a.m. 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. So during midnight, we went up there. So the purpose is we want the stars, right? And then we observe until the morning, then we can get the sunrise. So we get a 2-in-1 package in this sense. All right, so this is the picture that is featured in the APOD, all right, in 2014. So this is my first trip to Bromo. Okay, so here you can see that the fog, as I mentioned just now, down here, and then the smoky here is the volcano from Mount Bromo. And then at the back here, we have another volcano, which is Mount Semeru. Okay, and then you also can see some white streak. If you see this, there's some white streak here. Actually, these are the mountain climbers. So there are some people who will do some mountain climbing. So at night, when they walk up there, their headlight, somehow it will show lah. Okay. And then down here, we have some reddish color here. So I will not tell you what it is yet. Okay, I'll tell you later on. So you can guess first, what do you think it is? All right. So this is in 2014. We went there on June. So after we came back, then I'll just spend a few months getting the picture ready. So by August, this picture is featured. And since this picture is featured, so I thought maybe people will like this picture. So I try my luck again. Okay, so the next year in 2015, I try my luck again with the same picture, and I submit for the International Earth and Sky Photo Contest, okay, organized by the World at Night Twin here. Okay, and I was lucky lah. Okay, so managed to get a 4th place in the against the light category. So this is my luck with these two pictures. But it's not just only luck. Itself actually have a lot of stories to tell, as what Michael says. In this picture, you can see that I think the things about this is we have the sky, we have the land. So both of them also have their own activities. Okay, so you can see the circular things around here. Okay, so basically this is our sky. Our Earth actually is rotating. And then down here, we can have the activities like we have the volcanoes, okay, and also the reddish color here, which I don't want to tell you now what is it yet. Okay, it's okay, we all suspend a bit. Okay, so I think the how to say, the special part about this is we have the sky and the earth at the same time. Okay, so I think that's what caught the attention of the judges lah, in a sense. Okay, so maybe I just give everyone some sense of direction here. So where is this place located? So this place is located in Java. All right, so you can see that Malaysia is here, and then Java is here. So it's located at East Java. So what we do is we take a flight from KL to Surabaya. So when we reach Surabaya, we still need to take around 3 hours van drive to Mount Bromo. Okay, so because Surabaya is a town, so from here we have to take all the way into the national park here. Okay, so you can see this part here is Mount Bromo. And then just now we talked about this Gunung Semeru. So we have it at the back here. So this Gunung Semeru, as mentioned just now, is the highest peak in Java. All right, and it's one of the active volcano in Indonesia. Okay, so if I zoom in a bit, some more on where we are staying. Okay, so you can see this is the Google view of the place. So we are staying at this Lava View Hotel here. So it's actually very nice lah. You open your door, you can see the volcano just right in front of your door. So it's a very nice place. But we do our observation is not at the hotel here. So what we need to do is we need to take a jeep, okay, and then we go down to the floor here, the caldera floor here. So it's a slightly lower area. So you can see there's a path here. So what we do is we just follow here, and then we go up the hill until we reach there. There's a lot of lookout spots along this area here. Okay, but we went to this King Kong Hill. for the, usually people went there for sunrise lah, but as I mentioned just now, we'll go there earlier because we
not
want
for King Kong,
King Kong. All right,
we go for sunrise, not for the King Kong.
for King Kong, just for the sunrise and also the stars. Okay, so from here, as you we stand here, and if you look out, look over to the south, so Semeru is way down there, so we cannot see. So we are looking towards the south direction. So we can see the Gunung Batok. So this one is the dead volcano, just now we're talking about. And then here you can see some white smoke. This is the Gunung Bromo, okay, or Mount Bromo. So this is how it looks like. So at the far side, we can see Gunung Semeru, and then here we can see the volcano of Mount Bromo. Okay, so maybe I'll just explain a bit on this picture here. So it's a lot of things happening here. So just now we mentioned about we have the volcano, so in front and at the back, and then also we are lucky in this sense. It was very foggy, so we got to have this blanket of fog around this area. All right, so we can see that in the morning actually it's very nice. All right, it's very nice. And then this volcano, because it's a live volcano, so sometimes it can be just puffing out a few smoke. All right, this is the first time I went. Okay, I've been there for 4 times actually. The picture that I took for APOD is actually my first time. So after that, I keep on going back there. So the first time I went there, the volcano is quite mild, so you can see it's just a small puff of smoke. But the second time I think I went, it became like this. Okay, sorry, become like this. Okay, and it's really, really, very scary. Okay, everything you see along the floor or even on the trees, the leaf there, also you have all the ashes around. Okay, so this is how it looks. So sometimes it depends on your luck. You went there, whether it's going to be very mild or it's going to be very active. Okay, and then, okay, so now just to tell you, the red color here is not lava, because a lot of times when we talk about this is volcano, so everyone will thought that this is the lava flowing from the volcano. Unfortunately, for these 2 volcanoes, we don't get to see the lava. We only get to see their smoke. So this one is actually the light of the jeeps. Okay, remember just now we mentioned we are staying at the hotel there. So from the hotel, we need to take a jeep along and go up the hill. All right, so in the morning, actually, you will see a lot of jeeps actually moving around this area here. All right, so this is actually the lights of the jeep. So you can see, like, sometimes, if let's say there are fog, then you will see very misty feel. If there's no fog, then you will see the lights, very concrete like that, and then everyone will go up the mountain, the hills here. Okay, right. So this is the jeep. So this is I think it can in front it can carry 1 person plus the driver, and then at the back maybe 4 person can squeeze together inside the jeep. All right. So this is the place. This is King Kong Hill. All right. So this is the first time I went. So we are lucky again in the sense that the first time we went, because King Kong Hill was not so famous that time. So they don't really do much or renovations or any facilities around this area. So no toilets, nothing. So you just your toilet is basically everywhere lah. You just need to find a place and do your business there. Okay. So since this place is not developed sort of, so the jeep can actually go into this part. So you can see the jeep is parking at our observation area. But the next time, I think 2 years later when I went back, I think the tourists is getting more and more. So they actually developed this place. They paved the ground, and then they have some some fence around. So the jeep cannot go in anymore. So the jeep will park outside the road, and we have to walk around 5 to 10 minutes into this side here. All right. So I would say that this picture now is I mean, you cannot get it now because the jeep cannot go inside this area anymore. All right. So that is on the ground. So just now we talk about the volcano, talk about the fog. So the next thing now we talk about the stars. So here we can see that because we are in Indonesia, in Java, so we are on the southern hemisphere. So we are looking towards the south celestial pole. Okay, so there's no Polaris here. This is the south pole. So the stars will actually goes around the south pole, right? Due to our Earth rotation. Okay, and then here we have a meteor. So you can see there's a short line here. So there's a meteor here. And then just for your information, this is not a one-shot picture. Okay, so this is a picture composite of 270 images. All right, because this picture is taken over more than 2 hours. So during those film age, okay, then no choice. If let's say you are using a film, then it's just one shot, 2 hours, you just leave your camera there to take the shot. But since now is a digital age, so what we can do is we can take a lot of single exposure picture, and then we can use a software to combine them together to become a star trail. Okay, so this is what we are doing here. So what I did here is I took a lot of around 270 images of 30 seconds exposure. Then after that, I use a software to combine them together. Then they become a picture like this. Okay. So and then another thing is maybe a lot of people might be wondering whether this picture is taken during the day or is taken during the night, because it seems like it's a bit very bright in this area because it seems like it's daytime, but you still can see the stars. Okay, so if you can see the stars, then definitely it's not daytime, it's nighttime. All right, but why the landscape can be so bright is because of the moon. Okay, so when this picture is taken, we have a last quarter moon. So the moon actually lighted up the landscape, so we can see a lot of the features on the ground. So for me personally, if I want to take a landscape picture with the sky, I would prefer a moonlight day or moonlight night. Okay, because I know that a lot of people will say that if you want to go stargazing, find the days without the moon, which is true, because the moon will actually drown all the stars. But if let's say you want to take a picture with details on the ground and then with the star together, you try to find a night with moon, okay, but don't try the full moon, okay. Try anything like a last quarter moon or lesser lah, okay, a crescent moon until last quarter, it will be best, right? If not, if you take it on the dark night, you can see that actually you don't get any details on the landscape. Okay, you only get the silhouette, you get the shape of the mountain, but you don't get to see the details. All right, because nothing is lighting up the land. So if you have a slightly moonlight night, okay, as you can see here, then you can light up the landscape. Okay, so this is the one taken with the last quarter moon. And one more thing is because the moon is bright, so usually on a moonlight night, your sky also will become blue. So you can see that usually the sky is dark, but when you have a moonlight, then your sky will become blue. Okay, so this is how it looks like now. Okay, so this is a no moonlight, no moon night. So you can see that everything is dark. Your landscape is dark. You only see some trees shape here, but you get a very good, nice sky. Okay, a dark sky. So if let's say you want to do a selfie, then it'll be very difficult because if you stand here, we can't even see you. So what you need to do is maybe you need to take a torchlight, okay, or you take a candle and then you light yourself up, then you got to see yourself. Okay, but for me personally, I felt like it's a bit unnatural because this, if you take a torchlight, all right, it's a man-made light, so it does not blend so nicely to nature lah. Okay, but if you have no choice, then you just have to do that if you want to take a picture with yourself and the night sky. So you need some other lights. So if let's say we have moon to help us to light out the ground, then we can just don't need any torchlight, so we get a very natural lighting. So you can just stand there, and then the moon will actually bright up everything, and then you can get the stars, the Milky Way, and yourself and the ground together. Okay, so it depends on your personal taste lah. Some people might think that I don't like the sky to be so bright, too blue already. It's just not right lah. Okay, so it's just up to you lah. So you can you can choose the moon, the phases of the moon. Like for example, this picture when it was taken, it was on the last quarter. So actually the moon is quite bright. That's why the surrounding is so bright. So if you think that it's too bright, maybe you select a crescent moon time, so it won't be so bright. Then at least you can balance between the skies and the ground. Okay, all right. So basically this is my setting. So my setting usually very simple, because I actually also not very fancy, not expert in gadget things. So usually I just have a tripod and a camera, and then sometimes a power bank or external battery, because sometimes I will shoot the whole night. Okay, or if let's say I want to have more movement in my picture, so sometimes I will attach a motor, okay, and my camera there, so that the camera will turn. Because I'm not just only doing still shot, I mostly focus on doing time lapse. Okay, so then I can get more movement on the ground and on the stars. So that's basically my setup, and this is my setting that I usually use. So it's a very typical setting that we do. And this is the software that I use. It's a freeware. You can just go to startrails.de and then you can use it to actually do the star trail picture that I've been doing there. Okay, so all right, so I have a video here, okay, on Mount Bromo, Indonesia. The 3 times I went there, then I compiled it into a video. So if you're interested, you can go to Vimeo and then just type my name there. Okay, and then you can click on here. You can see the time lapse for this trip. Okay, all right. So finally, before I end, so maybe I'll just share this with you. So personally, I felt like we need to have a passion for the sky, or basically passion for everything that we do. Okay, then only our photos will have a story to tell. It's not just only a beautiful picture, but a picture that has feelings, have stories that somehow is more alive in a sense. Okay, all right. So I think that's all for my sharing today. So thank you very much. So I pass it back to Michael.
Okay, thank you, Hui Che. Okay, so hey, thank you, Hui Che. Looks like your student is inspired to have a trip to Bromo.
I keep on poisoning them, you know.
Yeah, so hopefully tonight we are going to poison a lot of people to come up with some nice photos.
Yeah.
Okay, so since there is no question from the audience, what about the other speakers? Do you have any question for Hui Che? Okay. Okay. Actually, I think I missed a question. Can you show the picture again? Your Bromo picture again?
Yeah, sure. One moment.
Just a small photo. So small question. I didn't mention. I'm not sure whether you have mentioned about it. Because I saw.
Okay, so you can see my screen.
Now I see your face.
All right. Wait. One moment. I just. Okay. Can you see it?
No.
No. Wait. I thought I share it. Okay.
Okay. So I saw one streak on the hill, the volcanoes.
You mean this one?
Yeah. What is that?
Oh, this is the mountain climbers.
Oh, okay.
Those that who climb the mountain, so they have the lights on. So that's how sometimes when we take long exposure, so we can record their trails on the mountain here.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I just learned today that Thierry Legault was also there on the same day, during the few days, right?
Pardon?
I think you submit Thierry Legault, you know, the astrophotographer.
Is it?
Yes, I think because today I was searching for your info, then I come across this slate.com by the flood.
I see.
I think you submitted this photo to slate.com, right?
I think yes.
Yeah, so actually I come across the articles written by Phil Platt. So actually on the about the same time, Thierry Legault also took a similar photo like yours, you know.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just lucky in this sense.
Yeah. So that's why Phil Platt say it's more of a sense of coincidence that two people who don't know each other to be at the same place to get the same shot. Okay, so it's more a lucky planning. It must be some magic about this place.
Frankly speaking, I just think that I'm just lucky. Actually, this shot, quite a number of our friends also, when we go together, also they have this shot. It's just that I submitted and they didn't. So I'm lucky in this sense.
Yeah, so everyone listen to this. Don't please submit your photos. Don't think your photo is not good enough.
Actually, you know, this spot, the special of this spot, because just now Hui Qi also mentioned that this is the first time she go to this spot, and then that time the spot is not developed yet. Actually, no tourism over there. I mean, no tourist is going there to witness the same scene. So maybe Terry Record is to be at another hill. So then the angle is slightly different. So
yeah,
maybe
not the same hill. Yeah. But the composition is more or less the same because of the angle, the wheel.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's move on to our third speaker of the day, third guest of the day, Mr. Robin Lee. Sorry.
Okay. Right. So now it's my turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hey everybody. This is Robin over here. Right now I'm in Kuala Lumpur, and I can see that we have many friends from Hong Kong joining us tonight. 香港嘅朋友大家好。Rakan Malaysia, selamat malam. Sangat seronok berada di sini sharing. Okay. Right. So thank you very much to Astronomical Society of Penang for giving this very unique opportunity for Malaysians astrophotographers, or I put it this way, amateur astronomers. So like we people who are very passionate about astronomy to be here sharing our love for the night sky. The topics tonight span quite a large spectrum. So we have William sharing with us the solar eclipse, and then Hui Chen sharing with us just now the starry landscapes. It's really a great opportunity tonight. So my topic tonight is going to be about another special occasions for the astronomical phenomenon, which is the lunar eclipse. So let's proceed further to the slides. So just one sec, let me switch on the sharing.
Wow, someone like you, Robin. Someone love you, not like you.
Oh, that's my sister. I can see that. Okay, all right. So just guys, if you have any questions anytime, feel free to leave under the comment sections. I will be very happy to take the questions. Right. So today we're going to share about my submission to the NASA APOD, which stands for Astronomy Picture of the Day. My particular image is about a penumbral lunar eclipse taken about 4 years back in time in Tengi, so Tengi Promenade in Hong Kong. So, okay, let's move on. Okay, so most of the audience here, I believe, are very familiar with lunar eclipse. So perhaps most of us have seen one. There are majorly 3 types of lunar eclipse. So the first one that we see on the picture here is the partial lunar eclipse. So basically the moon transits under the shadow of the Earth, and then the Earth shadow covers part of the moon, such that you see that right on the screen right here. Just one second, let me see where's my mouse. Okay, I can't see my mouse actually. Okay, don't worry. So you can see that there's one shadowy part of the moon. So that's the partial lunar eclipse. And then the next one is the total lunar eclipse. So most of us, or when you read on the newspapers, they will refer it to as the bloody moon. So this is it. And it's when the moon is totally under the Earth shadow. When we do a long exposure time image capture, we would be able to capture the reddish spectrum of the light passing through the Earth atmosphere, falling onto the surface of the moon and reflected back onto our camera sensor. So that's why we see the moon as a reddish object. And then there's also another type of lunar eclipse, which is very rarely mentioned because it is not very exciting. By our naked eyes, we couldn't really see anything. If you're not looking at all, you won't realize that the penumbral lunar eclipse is happening. So this penumbral lunar eclipse back in 2016. So I was inspired by this very famous Hong Kong astronomer. His name is Eric M. So that time he told me, hey, you should give it a try and go and have a look. I was considered quite young back then. So because the penumbral lunar eclipse was happening at a very late time. So let's see when was it. Okay, so in 2016, September of 16, you see that this is basically the map showing the eclipse path. So the moon is the white circle crossing through the Earth penumbral shadow. Okay, so it happens basically at a time of 3 a.m. So which is basically a very late hours. So we chose this spot. It's called the Tengi Promenade, and this is the map of Hong Kong, and then if we put it larger, you can see that, okay, this is Changi Promenade marked by the red pin. So this is where I observed the penumbral lunar eclipse. And let's see how it turns out. Okay, so this is the image of the penumbral lunar eclipse. You can see that on the upper left-hand corner of the moon, you can see a very slight red hue on the surface of the moon. So this is actually caused by a very slight filtering of the Earth atmosphere of the night sky, of our atmosphere. So that's why you see that there's a very slight reddish hue instead of a very reddish bloody moon like the total lunar eclipse. So this moon was a single shot. So basically that means that you use a camera, you click, snap, and that's it. And then further process in the post-processing software. For this picture, we use Photoshop to enhance the details. So we don't add anything not already in the picture onto it. So when we say Photoshop, when we say post-processing, specifically for a real amateur astronomers, one very important thing is we stick to the truth and the scientific facts. Based on the signals that we captured, we enhance the details out from our captured data instead of using some fancy stuff to add the data that are not already inside our pictures. So we use Photoshop to slightly enhance this picture to bring out the color such that you can see that the penumbral on the surface of the moon. So this was captured at 3:11 a.m., basically about the time of the maximum of the penumbral lunar eclipse. Yeah, and this picture was, let's see what's the equipment that I used that time. So the background is in Changi Promenade, and this is the setup I use for capturing that particular image. So you can see that it consists of a telescope, and then I use a mirrorless camera. This particular one is a Fuji camera, and I use this technique called a focal imaging technique to basically point the camera with lens onto the telescope to capture that particular image. So this is a very simple one, grab and go compact setup. Yeah, the key was I just want to get a image quick enough without bringing very heavy duty or high-end equipment. So just this very simple one would do the job. Yeah, one particular thing about getting a good image is not really about how fancy the equipment is, but whether you have the suitable equipment for the right job. Yeah. So I use this William Optics telescope and then this focal imaging technique combines with a mirrorless camera to capture that moon just now. And the next thing is, let's see what does the moon looks like when it is on the camera. Okay, so this is the image in real actions. You can see that the moon itself is slightly brighter on one end and then slightly darker on the other side. So this is basically the penumbral taking place. And let me further adjust the screen a bit darker so that you can see the moon clearer. Yeah. So you can see on the lower left corner, basically the eclipse is happening at the moment, and you can also see that there are some other people also capturing this special phenomenon at the same time. Yeah, so after a month, okay, I came back to the same place, and then I used the same technique, and then I also capture another image of the moon, and you can see that the moon actually is a very colorful object instead of just being a black and white image that we usually see on various internet websites. The reason is the color signal is actually quite weak. You need a really sensitive cameras and with the right technique to have enough signal to noise ratio to bring out all those kind of details. So for example, on this picture, you can see majorly there are two types of colors. One is the reddish color, another one is the purplish. So the reddish one corresponding to the ferrite oxide. So in Chinese, it's called Yuanfati. And then the bluish color region is the titanium oxide. So Yuanfatai. So we basically have two major minerals on the moon, and that's why from the colors you can see their distributions. So let me switch back to the penumbral lunar eclipse photo, and then you can see how different they are. Yeah, the reason why we don't really see much color on the penumbral lunar image is because the moon is currently experiencing an eclipse. So for that particular regions, we don't really see much color signal coming out because the light itself is rather weak. Yeah. So this 3 years fast forward, then we use another state-of-the-art technique to capture this colorful image of the moon. So basically, instead of using the focal imaging technique just now, we use this thing called a motion cameras, or we basically call them the planetary cameras. So what is special about this kind of camera is, just let me show you how it looks like. Okay, so you can see my screen right now. So at the back of my at my side is a very portable compact camera setup. It is basically quite similar to what you saw in the picture just now. So it consists of a telescope right here, and then a mirrorless camera. So very simple one. And then right here you have this tracking mount. And then in addition to all this kind of basic equipment, we also add some smart device like the one right here, so which can provide long-term power supply to the camera and also provide some dew heating features so that we don't really have to worry about the environment being too wet, or the camera battery itself is not large enough for a whole night operation. So this is a very compact and portable go-to setup. But you saw the moon image just now that we show is a lot more detailed, much higher resolutions, and the colors are much more colorful. And the big difference is we use this kind of planetary camera. So this camera is very cute in the sense that it's very small in size, and then it has a very small sensor. The sensor is very small, but it enables capturing at a very fast speed. So the state-of-the-art model, probably like 100 frames per second and more. And it uses a very simple USB port to connect to the camera, connect to the computer. And then we use some specialized software, which is free. And then you can use a very high speed, to freeze the image. And then you can capture very high resolution image like the one I showed just now, which is this one. Right. So you can see the moon itself is very, very colorful and highly detailed. And this one is just a zoom out view, let's put it this way. If we zoom in, you can see a lot more details, the craters, and then you can see the ridges, and then inside the craters, there are also even more craters and mountains. So these days, with the advance in technology, things got a lot more easier for us to pursue on the quality of the images, and allows us to capture even more clear, high clarity images. So the thing about the APOD submission is, I would say, let's get back to this picture. Yeah. Okay. So the thing about this kind of picture is, personally, the reason I think why it got selected by NASA as the astronomy picture of the day for that particular day, which is 12th of October, 2016, it's because, to be honest, there are very, very few people taken a penumbral lunar eclipse image over the years. Because the thing is, they are usually not very interesting. as you can see from my previous camera screen just now. Basically, if you don't look closely, you don't really know actually what is happening on the sky. So the takeaway is sometimes the objects that seemingly appear to be rather boring or not so exciting are probably holding a treasure in there, in the sense that a lot of times people might overlook that there might be some really interesting aspects of a seemingly boring object. But if you look further into it, you might discover some interesting aspects out of it. So my encouragement to Malaysian-based amateur astronomers and Hong Kong-based astronomers, the key to really produce this kind of images is try to explore as many as you can, and don't really need to worry about the quality of the image you are getting. But instead, if you are really interested about the astronomy, the mechanism, the physics behind, those kind of motivations and drive would eventually lead you to really good discoveries. So yeah, and I hoped after the talk today, many more amateur astronomers would produce even better quality images and would be inspired, to go out of the roof, stare at the night sky, take out your just even a very simple camera, just to explore the night sky. That's how, basically, I would say, perhaps how we all started at that point. Yeah. So thank you very much for listening and my very humble sharing. I hope you have some takeaway from that. And a special thanks to the Astronomical Society of Penang, Michael, for organizing this very meaningful event tonight. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free.
Okay, thank you, Robin, for your sharing. Okay. Actually, like you mentioned just now, actually a lot of people, they oversee the penumbra in lunar eclipse. Sometimes when you say, tonight there is a lunar eclipse, it's a penumbra, nothing to see. You cannot see anything with your eyes. So people just forget about it and go to sleep. But like you say, if you really are, the some one thing or two about it, then you can really produce something out of it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then the thing about astronomical discoveries is, a lot of times we all are just very curious people. We point our telescopes anywhere on the skies, and a lot. So, for example, how Galileo discovered that the stars, Jupiter, actually has moons, right? So he makes his telescopes and then he just pointed it. He said, "Oh, the Jupiter got years." So that's how things got started. So being curious is a very important ingredient, to I would say, to really enjoy the life aspects.
So it's just like when everybody tell you there's nothing special about penumbra lunar eclipse, you may think, what if I take a picture of it? What can I get? That kind of curiosity.
Yeah, exactly. So I
never
really
try,
encourage,
never know.
never try, never know. That's true. Yeah, so I really encourage, people to just take out their cameras, and you never know how powerful your cameras already is. For example, the iPhone these days, or smartphone these days, they are able to do long exposure time exposure. So even just pointing at the night sky, you will easily get pictures of the constellations. So I would say astronomy has gotten a lot easier compared to the past 10 years. Especially we have William here, and he started. By the way, William is just right beside me, and you can see I'm just across the screen. Yeah. Okay. And by the way, maybe this is the main screen, so you have to come over here.
Should be him moving in.
Yeah. So you can see.
It's supposed to be distancing.
Okay. Okay. That's hopefully nobody catches that. Okay. All right. So anybody else has any questions? We just saw Dr. Chong raising the questions. Okay. So Dr. Chong basically asked, how is the amateur astronomy scene in Hong Kong? 香港嘅朋友，咁我哋有一個來自檳城嘅呢一個來自檳城嘅呢一個Dr. Chong 呢一個係基本上係呢一個 檳城天文學會嘅一個其中一個，我應該係創辦人，係啦。咁啊，佢喺個馬來西亞度相當資深嘅一個天文學家。咁啊，佢就問我哋香港嘅呢一個業餘天文嘅呢一個氣氛如何？咁啊，大家整個手指公嚟咧。Okay. So basically, Dr. Cheong, I would say Hong Kong amateur astronomy scene is very, very active. You can't really imagine under this kind of heavily light polluted sky, the ratio of people interested in astronomy is, I would say, significantly higher compared to, for example, in Malaysia, we have probably around 33 million populations, whereas in Hong Kong, we have about 7 million. But I would say the number of amateur astronomers in Hong Kong is a lot more in absolute numbers compared to in Malaysia. So, yeah, I hope more Malaysians would join the scene. And 香港嘅朋友，咁啊，大家都真係 feel 到你哋嘅熱血。Yeah, I was saying that we feel the passions of the Hong Kong-based amateur astronomers. So, if you happen to go to Hong Kong, you'll see that whenever the sky is clear, people would go to places like Bat Tam Chung. It's in Sai Kung. So I just heard that yesterday it got really packed, and probably a day ago, because Hong Kong had probably the clearest skies for the past year. Yeah. So yeah, Hong Kong is very active, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to hear that.
Hey, can I continue the question on curiosity? So,
yes, Dr. Lim.
I'm curious. In your image of the moon,
Yes.
the one not on the penumbra eclipse, but the distribution of titanium oxide and ferrite oxide, ferrous oxide, it seems like one side has more ferrous oxide and the other half has more titanium oxide. Is that the reality that's being depicted by your images? I mean, by your image. If you pull up the image, I think like the top part is more red and the bottom part is more blue. So I am now curious.
Okay, let's
Explanation.
just one sec.
Okay.
All right. So let me put this picture on. So by the way, Dr. Derek Lim, is the guy who asked the question just now, is currently in the WOW in Thailand. Kept shooting the night sky at the moment. So you see how dedicated this guy is, because
Hugging the wild ball.
yeah, even we're doing live sharing here. He's out there in the wild capturing the night sky pictures. You can see how crazy this guy is. All right. So is my screen sharing right now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So Derek, are you referring to this particular image about
Yes.
the distribution? Yeah. So we can see that the regions of the ferrites is more concentrated on the northern part of the moon, whereas a little bit less towards the equatorial regions, and not so strong the signals in the southern regions. But if you look closely around the Tycho craters, just slightly above towards the north of Tycho, you can see there's small patches of reddish regions, which depicts the distributions of the ferrite oxide over there. Yeah. So this color image of the moon basically is a indications of the distributions of the minerals, instead of a very quantitative showing of the minerals amounts and the exact locations. Because thing about it is we need a spectrometer to really figure out how much mineral is there. We need to calibrate our instruments. But this one shows a very good rough idea, I would say, about the distribution, and then the intensity of the color indicates the relative abundance of the minerals over those kind of regions. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. It just looks interesting to me, like especially the top part where it's so strong.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if I got another pictures, but I probably don't have it right now with me. But that one would even show better. Okay, actually the thing is, if we go to the end of the pictures, this one would be even a more strengthened versions showing the abundance of the ferrite oxide. So basically what you can see here is basically the ferrite oxide is almost everywhere. With some particular regions, the ferrite oxide is even more. So for example, if you look at this image, you remember the areas where you can see the reds, right? Okay, and then we fast forward to this picture. You can see that the reds regions are perfectly corresponding to each other, but in a much deeper color, in the sense that the amounts of the minerals of the ferrite oxide over these areas is even more, right? The reason why we are seeing the moon even showing even like more reddish in this picture is the reason that we use a much more sensitive camera. It's the QHY5317HC. So this camera is even more sensitive than the previous camera. That's why we can see even more color signals coming out from the moon. Yeah. So that's basically the idea behind it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so
thank
you have
Yeah.
anything else?
So we don't have any more questions from the audience.
Okay.
In that case, we move on to the man in the wild.
Yep. I hope he still survives, not being brought over by being hunted by wild bulls. Yeah.
So we pass the stage to you, Derek.
Okay. Hi everyone. Let me try and share my screen. Okay. Let me figure out how to do it. Okay, here. Can you see my screen clearly?
Can.
Okay. Hello everyone out there. Thank you very much to the Astronomical Society of Penang and Mr. Michael Teo to invite us to this sharing. Okay. Yes, I cannot see myself in this presentation, so I'm imagining you see me wearing goofy outfit. Yes, I am indeed in the wild, and it's not really wild. It's just a reservoir at a dark location. So I saw that the sky was clear. I thought I have to take advantage of it. Okay, but anyways, let me just begin with a little bit of introduction about myself and astronomy, and then I'll talk about the astronomy picture of the day that I managed to get published. So for me, I started my interest in astronomy at about 10 years old. When I was 14, I started to observe the night skies with a 7x35 binoculars. So a pair of 7x35 binoculars is nothing to write home or brag about. It's a very ordinary piece of equipment. But as Robin pointed out earlier, curiosity, take the pair of binoculars, look at the sky, and then I found like a whole host of constellations, star clusters, and nebulas, galaxies from Kuala Lumpur. Sorry about the background noise. I think a bunch of
I hope the
dogs
bear is not coming after
fighting
you.
right now. No, they're probably dogs fighting over something.
Derek, you sure you're okay over there?
Yeah.
So far I'm okay. Yes, I'm still alive.
Okay.
There's probably a dog biting my leg right now, but
Okay. We better have some camera showing you, just in case we have some last pictures of you before you.
Yeah,
dragged
well,
by
I mean,
the
I'm glad
bulls.
I'm having this video online right now. Okay.
No problem. We
So,
can hear you. You are safe.
yes, so far. All right. So I think that okay, for this astronomy, okay, it is important to be curious, but there's also importance to have like a and as was pointed out as well, like a heart to it. Like you love the night sky, you love everything about it. When you see a night sky, you feel a sense of awe, and so I've been observing visually for 20 over years, and then I took up astrophotography in 2014. And then what I found a lot about my astrophotos are that I'm always trying to convey this sense of awe about how big the universe is and how little, how tiny we are. So again, sorry about the background noise. this photo right here, it's taken in Mersing, Johor, and just shows how big the galaxy is, our Milky Way galaxy is relative to us. And this feeling I try to convey to my photo viewers. It's pervasive throughout all my photos. Okay, so no, the dogs are not barking just now when William and Hui Chia and Robin was presenting, and then when I start presenting, the dogs start to bark. So
maybe he want to join the party.
yeah. Anyways, if it gets bad, I'll get into my car and then probably have more quiet. Okay. Is it really bad or should I?
No, it's okay.
Okay, it's okay. Okay. All right. So I got interested in taking photos of these wide field starscapes and deep sky vistas. Okay. Vistas meaning that kind of more wide field rather than very narrow views like through a telescope. So my favorite equipment, DSLR and now mirrorless camera with an ultra wide zoom lens, mid-range telephoto lens in a 50 to 100-ish millimeter range, and one 300 millimeter lens I use on occasion when I feel like, hey, I really got to getting close to show the beauty of this object. Okay, and I'm lazy. I just like to use a star tracker. I'm too lazy to set up an equatorial mount and do drift alignment and everything. All these very very advanced alignment techniques. I'm lazy to do it. So I just pick up and go, and to me that works the best. Okay. So I did take many different photos along the way, and then on one occasion I decided to take a picture of Orion. Okay, and I was really surprised to receive an email. I submitted it to APOD and just thought, just for fun, and I received an email and says that, hey, you're going to be featured on March 21st, and I said, wow, okay, that really made my day. So the photo is featured right here. Okay, it's not a snapshot of the web page itself, but I think that it conveys exactly what it is. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the dogs. So they're I know, probably getting. So, anyways, I took this photo in Thailand. Okay, a place called Khao Yai. The area is Khao Yai. It's not in a national park. It's in the province Nakhon Ratchasima in Thailand, northeast of Bangkok, about 3 hours drive, under Borto 3 to 4 skies, which is pretty decent skies. So you can definitely see the Milky Way, and it's dark enough that we can get a lot of details from our images. Okay, I use the Sony A7S modified. So what does modified mean? It means that the optical filter that is normally placed in consumer cameras is removed and replaced with a filter that actually is more sensitive to red light. Now the consumer camera filter actually helps the camera sensor to pick up light more like the human eye, so the camera can see like the human eye. But a modified sensor is of course made different. Okay, so it enhances the red sensitivity of the camera sensors. So and I use a Canon 85mm f1.8 EF lens. Okay, settings to ISO 2000, lens set to f4, 30-second exposure. As you can see, I'm not really much in the wild. There's a car driving by me right now. So not a really wild area. Okay, the star tracking was done with this Skywatcher Star Adventurer, and this image is actually a 4-panel panorama. and only 5 images per panel. Okay, I took actually 20 images per panel, and what happened was when I threw it all into my computer, my computer choked. It couldn't handle the 20 images per panel, so I had to do 5. So and I guess it turned out okay.
So you may want to reprocess it now with the higher power computer.
Yeah, I have a better computer now, just recently, but I haven't gotten around to do it yet. I probably should. Okay. So and here's an anatomy of an unplanned mosaic, and I call it unplanned because I was initially gonna shoot the Rosette Nebula, and then clouds came by, it covered the Rosette, and then didn't cover the Rosette, and then come and go. The sky was a bit hazy. So I got frustrated. I said, okay, forget about it. I'm just gonna use an 85 millimeter and take a mosaic of Orion just for fun, why Orion is particularly fascinating too is because maybe you saw the red nebulosity, the red nebula in Orion. Those are emission nebula. Those are hydrogen gases being heated up and emit in the red color. And there's also dark nebula, reflection nebula, all throughout the constellation. So it's very, very fascinating area to image, and I thought, okay, why not? And I see a lot of people having images of this Orion with the Barnard's loop. I probably should have pointed it out in the previous picture, but it's easily searchable. So this is my 4-panel panorama, and the principle of my panorama and many of my other panorama images is that contingency, okay? Meaning that I want to put as much overlap as possible of the subject. So my subject is the constellation of Orion. Is the background noise too bad? Okay, it seems to have subsided. Okay. All right. Good. So the subject is Orion, and I what I did was I just tried to put as much overlap as possible of the constellation to kind of make the best of a signal. Okay. I'll probably. Okay. Sorry about all the background noise too. So there are some parts of my image where there's no overlap, and of course this was really very nearly the first time I took a panorama of constellations. So this I would say that it's due to my inexperience, but fortunately the skies were dark. Oh,
Are you
gosh.
okay?
There was a dog. Yeah, there was a dog just running around. I don't know.
Did he just attack you or what?
Oh no, it's fighting with another dog and it bumped into me.
Okay.
Yeah. So so where was I?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is the
So
pattern.
yeah, famous last words. So yes, the dark sky. That's kind of important, and of course the challenge was to kind of take photos quick enough before the clouds come. So and I think that a lot of Malaysian amateur astronomers understand that. Astrophotographers too, like you want to take the image quickly before the clouds come, and so yeah, it's always this challenge for us. So I think that William took a very interesting photo of a landscape with astrophenomena. Hui Jie took a very interesting landscape with describing the scene of the ground and the sky, and Robin took a very a rather obscure astronomical phenomena and made it very interesting. So for me, I'm taking a very normal object in the sky, okay, a constellation called Orion, and I think that what's particularly interesting about the image that might have gotten me this feature is that probably there's a lot of detail that the eye couldn't see, and the title is Camera Orion. So the camera could capture all these things here. And this image here does show Barnard's Loop right here. So this curved red nebulosity to the left side of just kind of like on the left edge of Orion. Here, Orion Nebula, or the sort of Orion, is right below, just below the three stars right here, below the belt stars. Okay, and I think that the lesson from this image that I still have to keep reminding myself all the time, because every time I go out to take the photos, I want to grab as many images, as many angles as possible, you know, and I just go crazy over it. But I think the lesson here is just be patient and take your time, do the best for one photo. And photos that have interesting astronomical context. So as I mentioned, William's photo, Huijia's photo, and Robin's photo, and then now this one kind of like comparing the camera to the eye. Okay, they have an opportunity to be featured. One more thing is luck, I believe, is a factor too. Okay, so you know, I don't think my photo is particularly outstanding. I think that perhaps it just went in at the right time. You know, oh yeah, and now it's kind of the right time too for this photo, because you know, Orion rises. Actually, it's already risen. It's rising right now, but my camera here probably can pick it up. But yeah, go out and have a look at Orion and try to take a photo, okay, of it. And yeah, keep trying, and be prepared for the next interesting astronomical phenomenon. There are a couple comets in the sky that's getting bright. Erasmus S3, I think, and Erasmus S something, and then
M3,
Atlas
M3, yeah.
Atlas M3 in Orion, in fact. So here are the other challenges that I think are in astrophotography, and for me in general, and I think like for, you know, everyone, you know, just kind of a sharing like what I learned throughout my experiences. I want to tell a story through my images, you know, for me, and it's very personal. Okay, everyone will be different, and which is what's so interesting about astrophotography. When I see a photo, I can kind of tell a little bit about what the photographer is like, right? So for me, you know, I always like a big sky, big star, and tiny foreground. So that's kind of me. That's me telling you that I think the universe is just totally awesome and so big, so vast, and how small we are. Okay, that's the astronomy meaning. Okay, and non-cliche, because a lot of times we try to follow what other people do, and then end up many people do the same thing and it becomes cliche. So I think non-cliche is the first step in trying to step out of our box. Say, I want to be who I am. I want to show everyone who I am as an astronomy enthusiast, and this is how I see the sky. Okay, and the other thing, of course, now I know I'm showing a photo of the Milky Way galactic core, but the night sky is not defined only by the galactic core, the Milky Way. Okay, there are tons of other objects that we can photograph and, you know, convey to to ourselves. You know, you're happy you took that photo, or to share with everyone. Okay, and last but not least, okay, Malaysia, Thailand, almost the same story. A lot of intangibles. You go to the place, you set up, and then the sky is full of clouds. So we have to do a lot of planning. So I just learned that, you know, being careful with planning is always helpful in giving us the opportunity to get that astro photo that we desire. Okay. So I think I'll leave this presentation with a last saying. Okay, that is, you know, no matter what kind of astrophotography we like to do, let us leave a beautiful night sky for future generations. Okay, meaning that be aware about light pollution, be aware of all our actions and how it can affect the night sky. Okay, and with that, I'd like to conclude my sharing. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you again to Michael and Astronomical Society of Penang.
Okay, thank you, Terry, for your sharing, for your very fruitful sharing. Yeah, so that's final speaker for the today. So is there any questions from the audience? Let me check. Okay, seems like there's no question. How about others? Do you have any question for Derek?
Yeah, Derek.
Yes.
Do you want to show around what's happening around your side?
Not the dog.
Sure. Actually, you know what? It's a good chance, good opportunity. I'm gonna take you guys to my camera to show you what I'm trying to do.
Sure.
Really quickly. I'm trying to take. So the Milky Way is setting right now, and I'm doing a time lapse of the Milky Way setting, and I hope I don't like interfere with my friend's photo. But since it's a time lapse, I think it might be okay. If I get beat up by him, you guys know what happened.
We can hear you scream.
Yes, you might hear me scream. Oh, there's a dog here. Oh, yeah. Hi, my friend's here. Okay. Hi. ผมไปข้างหน้าได้ไหม? Okay. Let me just show you my screen. I don't know, is my photo done? I don't know, is my camera dead? Has it been attacked by dogs or anything? But yeah, let's see.
You may get a frame of the dog in front of your photos.
Yes, I can't even see my. Okay.
Do you know the famous the monkey selfie? Then you have a dog selfie.
Yeah, I have a dog. Probably have a dog selfie. There you go. That's kind of my image briefly right there. This is like a time lapse. It's still running. It's been running for an hour and 16 seconds here. Oh wow, an hour, 1 minute and 16 seconds. This camera's not gonna show you the view in front of me right now, but yeah, there's a whole host of stars. Well, Jupiter and Saturn is setting right above me. Oh, my head fell off. Okay. Oh my. And I stepped on it. Oh great. Okay. I'm gonna stop being a goofball here. Up above me right now, I see Pegasus, the square of Pegasus, and of course an opportunity to photograph the Andromeda Galaxy. On the east right now, rising, I see about 45 degrees is the Pleiades, Taurus, the Pleiades, and Orion, just pretty much skimming the tree tops here. Mars is straight overhead. Okay, and yeah, I have my photography friend here, so yeah, he's also taking a time lapse. So I hope that we get something nice to share. I don't think
hopefully another APOD.
I don't think APOD has time lapse ever, right? Has there been any time lapses at all?
I'm not sure, but they do have videos.
But they have videos.
Yeah.
Let me share one thought that just occurred to me. So William actually took a starscape of the annular eclipse. Huijie took the star trails, and Robin took a photo of the moon. I took a photo of Orion. So clearly, the next APOD has got to be a deep sky image from Malaysia, right?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, we're really looking forward towards that.
Yeah, so okay, deep sky photographer out there. Maybe you have a chance.
Let's hope the lockdown ends soon. Then we can travel to dark sides.
Yeah.
But having said so, I would say it might be quite interesting to even do some deep sky objects even in the middle of city, because these days we have this kind of a dual narrowband filters, which are actually quite effective when capturing those kind of emission type nebula. For example, the Orion Nebula you're capturing right now is totally possible even in the middle of Kuala Lumpur. So I think it's something worth a try. So even though we can't really travel a great distance because of the lockdowns due to the COVID, but I think even at home, there's still a lot of opportunities and possibilities that we can explore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eric, I think the dog loves your pictures. When they start presenting, they are screaming like hell already.
Let me show you one of the dogs. There's one right over here right now. Where is? See?
Oh yeah.
No, this was not the one that attacked me just now. It's a white color one. I don't know where it go.
No, maybe you just want to take a look at the picture. It's not attacking you,
Yeah. Perspective matters, right? Yeah. Anyways, it's a safe site. Yeah. I think one thing that we should mention is a safety. When we take astrophotography,
Okay.
don't risk your life for it.
Yeah, safety is always important. Sometimes it's not just about human, even animals also.
Yes, yes. Tigers.
That's why we say astronomy is a universal beauty. You know, people from all across of walks, from different races, from different countries, from different regions, all kind of civilizations have a common, love and inspirations coming from the night sky. So, yeah, I think astronomy is one of the kind of the oldest hobbies, and also the one that is pushing the boundary of human technology. So I think it's a very interesting hobby that we all delve in. So yeah, really glad to meet like-minded people like you guys, and people from the audience. Like we have our friends from Hong Kong, our friends from Malaysia, and all over the world. Yeah. So even though we are separated by like physical distance, but our heart, our love for the night sky is universal. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we have to thank the audience too for all the support too. Like thank you for tuning in and listening to our sharing here. I mean, without the audience, there's no meaning to our sharing, right? So yeah, I agree. And then on top of that, I think maybe one of our images would inspire the next APOD.
Yeah. All right. So I think seriously over time, but I think the time is never enough for this kind of sharing. Right? We can keep on talking for another half an hour, even 1 hour, 2 hours or so. Yeah. Anyway, okay, we are come to the end of our sharing session today. So before we end, to our speakers, do we have some words for our fellow astrophotographers in terms of astrophotography in general?
Who gets the next APOD gets a treat of beer from all of us. The others who didn't get it. Is that okay?
So William, do you have something?
That's a good
Okay,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
William, do you have anything to say to our potential prospective astrophotographers, the young photographers?
Not really only astrophotography, maybe astronomy as a whole. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So then, because human development will produce many lights at the night. So whenever there is a chance, there's a clear sky. So please look up at the sky and then try to look at the stars, and then and also try to recognize it, because you never know that when you will use the stars as your guidance in the dark. Okay. So get the chance, and then no matter where you are, even you are in the light pollution place, so the star is always there. Even the bright star, you can just stare with it. You just look at it, and then maybe you can have some ideas suddenly popping up in your mind, and then you might be suddenly become a famous person in the world. Yeah.
Okay, Hui Chen, do you have anything to say?
All right. Maybe this one in general, not just for astrophotographers. So I think for any one of us, anytime we have a chance, we step out from our house, we step out from our car, just take a moment to look up. I think the skies belongs to everyone, like what Derek says or what Robin have mentioned. It's universal. It's not just exclusive for a bunch of astronomy hobbies like us, but it actually belongs to everyone. So when you step out, just remember to look up, and believe me, you will be rewarded with the beauty of the night sky. All right, so that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Robin?
Yeah, I think we all have that specific moments. We all got poisoned at one point by the beauty of the night sky. Right?
And yet to recover from the poison. After 20 years.
Poison is there's never a cure for that.
Yeah.
There's always a specific moments, that triggered our love for the hobby. So yeah, just never know what time is it. So for example, my my curiosity for the night sky has been, stirred since the day when I was in primary school. So I was very interested, to look at the stars, and then you will ask questions like, what would lie beyond those kind of stars? Are there like lives? Are there even like planets? Any like extraterrestrials, intelligence, things like that. Then at one point, I was interested in photography. So then I will ask myself, what if I point my camera towards the night sky? What would I get? It is this kind of continuous propulsions and curiosity, that keeps you moving forwards to ask more questions along the way. I think being curious is, as I've stressed multiple times throughout the talk today, being curious is a very important motivation and drive, to further explore the world. And like for especially given this kind of era, everybody has a smartphone in your hand. So basically, you are having the whole world database on your palm. So there's very easy access to information. So for example, if you look at, I'm not sure if you guys can see my phone screen.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of astronomy apps that we can use these days, even though you do not know what is on the sky. So for example, we go for Sky Safari, right? So just a one click, you can see what is on the night sky. Okay, you can point your handphone around. Okay, you can see that the night sky basically. Wait one sec. Yeah, the night sky basically moves along. Right, you can see it moves along. So basically, you have a very good compass for the night sky on your hand. So for anyone who is interested, in exploring the night sky, what is that star? What is this star? You can download this app. It's called Sky Safari. Then you can further explore the night sky. So I hope some audience from tonight's sharing, would get interested, because of our sharing. I really hope so. Yeah. So be curious. That's what I want to, pass on.
Yeah, thank you, Robin. Derek, how about you? Are you
Uh,
still okay?
yeah, I'm still okay. Still, now the dogs are quiet. You see, just use your feeling. Feel the sky and enjoy it. Feel our smallness in the universe. Yeah, and I think that's all. That's all.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you for all of you for the very, very fruitful and informative sharing today. Like Robin said in the beginning, we have really a wide range of coverage tonight, from the eclipse, a wide field special occasion, okay, to the star trail, human land activity, human activity, the sky activities, okay, to our very familiar moon, okay, and then lastly we have the deep sky object. Okay, hopefully our audience, okay, whichever field or whichever prospect you are interested in astrophotography or in astronomy, okay, we hope you have learned one thing or two in the sharing today. Okay, last but not least, let me have advertisement time. Okay. Oh, I think I have closed it. Okay, never mind. I'll just mention it. Okay, so for those who are not aware of this, we are actually currently having our second astrophotography competition. Currently still ongoing. It's in the voting period. So we had the first last year, and this is the second year. The second year we are doing it. So for those who are interested, you can go to our Facebook page, Astronomical Society of Penang. So it's the topmost. We have pinned the post on top. So tomorrow midnight will be the closing date for the voting. And so just go inside and look at the wonderful photos submitted this year and choose, give a big thumb for the one you like. And hopefully next year, for the years coming, we are going to get more and more beautiful photos. And even we have the 5th, the 6th, the number 10, number 20 APODers, okay, to join us. And so that not just 4 of us, we could have 10, 20, hopefully. And just don't wait for another 5 years or 25 years, please. Okay, so everyone, please just go outside and take photos. Whatever it is, just take it. Yeah, you never know what you get. All right, so I think that's all for today. If we don't have any more questions from the audience, again, okay, thank you to William, okay, to Hui Che, Robin, and also Derek for your sharing tonight. Okay, I hope to see you again, and hope we have more people to join us in the future.
Okay,
Right.
thank you very much.
Everyone.
Thank you very much. It's a
Thank
great
Thank you,
day.
Michael.
Bye.
Thank you.
Michael.
Thank you, everyone else. William, Hui Jun,
night.
Robin,
Bye.
great to
Okay,
meet
take care,
you.
Derek.
Bye.
Stay safe, Derek.
Thank you. I'll try to stay alive.
Yeah, stay alive, mate.
Yeah.
Stay alive.
Please don't be in the news tomorrow.
Well, it could be good news.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Who knows?
Make it
Another
good
airport
news.
coming tomorrow. Yeah, who knows? All right. Good night, everyone.
Okay,
Good
good
night,
night,
to our
everyone.
audience.
Okay,
Thank you,
cheers,
everyone, for joining
guys.
us tonight.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
have a good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.